All right, so let's talk about how to find hidden niches to make you money, especially on YouTube. Now, you can find hidden niches anywhere, but this is going to be especially for YouTube. I particularly specialize in working with busy business owners and teaching them how to grow and monetize on YouTube. The reason I know how to do this is because I have my own channel that I gotten over 1 million subscribers, make about 70, 75K per month from it. And that's just from AdSense. It's multiple six figures a month from all of the other sources. And so let's talk about how you can actually find these hidden niches, because not only have I grown my channel myself, but I've also helped a bunch of students grow their channels. Some of them didn't really have a solid niche as well. So some people come to me, they have YouTube channels, and it's kind of just like generalist stuff. They're making content about all kinds of stuff, and they really want to figure out like, okay, what niche should I focus on? What niche should I actually, sell people stuff with? Or I have business owners who, have a product that they're selling, but they don't know what niches they should target in order to sell the product. Or I just have people who want to, start a brand new brand on YouTube, and they don't know what niche to choose. So no matter what situation you're in, this is going to be extremely helpful for you. And basically, let's talk about kind of like the niche hunting analogy. Hunting for niches is kind of like truffle hunting or truffle farming. And if you're not familiar with truffles, basically they're very difficult to find. They're almost impossible to cultivate, and they're very difficult to find in the wild. So a lot of the time you'll have to have these special dogs that go around sniffing the ground and try to find truffles. And that's why it's so expensive. Whenever you order something that involves truffles at restaurants, it's quite expensive. And that's for a reason, because they're difficult to find. Just like niches are very valuable because they are difficult to find. And they're really like gold mines. Whenever you find a niche, it's like finding some oil, you struck oil, or you found some gold, right? And a lot of content creators just feel like they're either shouting into the void, so they are either making generalist content where you can't really make much money, or they're not getting any views at all, or they're trying to sell ice to Eskimos. So they're, a lot of the time, if you have kind of a generalist audience and then you try to actually sell something to them, you're not going to sell very well. You're going to notice that the conversions are ridiculously low because you are just like, people just don't need your stuff because they don't really see you as an authority. You didn't make the right type of content to attract the right type of person. And then my promise to you is a toolbox of strategies to uncover lucrative hidden markets. I can almost guarantee you've never heard of most of these strategies. These are going to be absolutely mind-blowing. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, monetization sources. And this is just kind of doing broad research. So we start broad. Okay, we start broad, and we're basically just going to look and try to figure out, like, broadly speaking, what you want to do. So ChatGPT can be very helpful for this. There's special prompts for AI generated keyword ideas. Essentially, you can just ask ChatGPT, hey, this is what generally speaking, what I'm interested in, or this is my business. Just give it a little bit of information, and then ask it for keywords that are related to that, or ask it for niches that it thinks that you should look into. Now, ChatGPT obviously isn't going to be able to tell you the exact niche that you should do, but if you ask it to give you a list of like 50 to 100 different niches, chances are a few of the ones in that list are actually quite good. So this is just for generating ideas. Okay, this is just for generating ideas. This is not locking the ideas in. And this is an easy, gentle exercise that's focused on slow movement and relaxation techniques, right? So this could be something that you type in, and then it gives you a bunch of different options. Because maybe your audience, for instance, is older people that want to get in shape, right? So they can't do intense exercises. And also they don't want to do intense exercises because they're probably stressed their heart out. And so, that's your niche, older people. Older people tend to have money, and, you want to find a bunch of keywords or niches that are, or sub niches that are related to that. And then Reddit, the internet's crystal ball. So Reddit is super, super helpful. There's a couple different tools you can use on top of Reddit. So obviously, if you look back in time, Reddit was an early trend indicator. Like, these topics, the keto diet, dopamine detox, monk mode, et cetera, these topics that got absolutely massive grew on Reddit before they grew on YouTube. So a lot of the time, this is kind of like the canary in the coal mine that starts making a lot of noise and warns people when something is about to, happen. Right? It's an indicator. It's a leading indicator. And so if you see these really big movements blowing up on Reddit, like keto diet, dopamine detox, monk mode, etc., that is a really good sign. Now, how do you actually find those things? Well, there's a couple different things you can do. You can use a tool like Anvaka, and this is going to be a very short video, so I'm not going to go into detail on how to use Anvaka. I might have it like pop up on the screen or something like that while I'm talking. But Anvaka basically maps out different subreddit connections. So it'll show you like, hey, dopamine detox is related to monk mode, right? And monk mode is related to, I don't know, fasting, right? And it'll show you like all these things are related. So chances are, if these subreddits connect to each other, chances are the people that have like view content from dopamine detox would also be interested in monk mode, and they'd also possibly be interested in fasting. Right. So that is the kind of thing that's just super valuable when it comes to really understanding your audience on a deep level. And it's also really valuable when it comes to understanding your like general trends that are happening. Right. And just understanding things that are popping up. Just as an example, a diet that's really popping off right now is the carnivore diet. Right. So this diet is getting really, really big, and you're going to watch. It's already got big on Reddit, and it's even getting bigger on Reddit, and now it's starting to get big on YouTube. And this is something that I called like a year ago. And yeah, you want to analyze the community size and the growth. So the really easy way to do that is to use a tool like GigaBrain. There's a couple different tools like this. There's Gummy Search, there's GigaBrain. There's a few different ones that you can use to analyze community size and growth. And GigaBrain is basically AI-powered Reddit insights, and it'll kind of show you which keywords are doing well, which subreddits are doing well, what are the sentiments of it. Is it emerging and everyone's excited about it, or has it been around for a while and people are starting to doubt it a little bit? So like maybe negative content might be the way to go. But yeah, automated and analysis of key topics and sentiments. GigaBrain is really good at that. Then once you've got this, so this is the general research just to find different topics. Once you've got a few that you think you're interested in, maybe you've made like a list of, let's just say like 5 of them from this, just doing this right here that you think you're interested in. Then you want to go to the quick validation stage. And this is where obviously there's a market of people that are willing to view the content, right? They're willing to spend their time viewing the content, but that doesn't necessarily, just because people are willing to spend time does not necessarily mean they are willing to spend money. I found this out the hard way when I created a course that took me 3 months of hard work. When I create courses or really anything that I put my brand and my name behind, I put an insane amount of work into it. This course took me 3 months to create, and it was on college degrees, how to hack college essentially. And it didn't sell. It didn't sell very well at all. And this was a crushing experience. And it's because I didn't go through this step, right? There were a lot of people who were, talking about how to hack college. And I thought, oh man, if I create a course on this, it's going to sell so well. Oh my goodness. I'll be the first one to do it. Well, guess what? When you're the first one to do it, a lot of the time, there's a reason you're alone. It's because you're the idiot in the room, that's why you got to go through this quick validation step. Okay. So Amazon, the world's biggest focus group, Amazon book sessions, specifically. Now, if you go to Amazon, and I'm just going to do this to illustrate how powerful this is. If you go to Amazon and you type in how to hack college or college degree, that kind of thing, you're not going to see that many reviews for those books. And if I would have simply just done that step and that step alone, I would have known that course is a bad idea to make, right? But yeah, people, maybe they spend $5 on these books, but it's something. They actually spent their money, and that counts for something. And it's also a massive, massive amount of data, because not only did they spend their money, but they also spent a lot of time plus energy. So time plus energy plus money. Right? So that's a good sign that people would be willing to buy something a little more expensive, like a course or maybe even a coaching program. And in fact, books in many cases are really good ways of upselling to courses plus coaching. Right? Now, advanced search techniques is, you go to searches, you search something like carnivore diet, and then Amazon Kindle Direct. And like there's lots of different things that you could search. You could search, let's say you come to a dead end on the carnivore diet. It's not quite there yet. But then the second one you do is Amazon Kindle Direct, because you saw that this was another one that was kind of popping off on Reddit. And then all of a sudden you leads down the rabbit hole, and you discover these guys called the Nicholson twins that are making like $100 million a year. Doing this offer, right? They're actually making $100 million a year teaching people how to do Amazon Kindle, right? So that could be an example. And again, this is just for brainstorming. You're just searching and you're trying to do a quick validation. And the more boxes that are checked here, the better, right? There's probably like 5 or 10 different boxes you want to look at. And the more that are checked, the better, right? You can never be 100% certain, but if you checked all the boxes, you can be like 80% certain, and the odds will be in your favor. Now, Udemy is another example. So Udemy, I'm sure you're familiar with this. They basically sell courses, and they're usually shorter courses, and they're usually cheaper. But, in some cases, they're $20, $30, $40, $50 courses, sometimes even a little bit more than that. And if you see that a ton of people have reviewed them, general rule of thumb is if you see 5,000 reviews, that means probably 10 times the amount of people, like 50,000 people actually bought the course, right? So the same thing with the books. If you see 5,000 reviews, that means like 50,000 people bought the course, right? So, this is another really, really good way to validate your idea. See if people are spending money on courses for people to actually teach them this stuff. I'd say that's even a little bit more powerful than the books, because it's usually a little more expensive, and it's just one of those things where books, people, it's almost like a flyer. It's almost like it's no money at all, but a course is actually like it's some pretty serious money, right? And then another one, this is a little bit more for services and maybe like an agency type thing. Although sometimes if people are requesting certain things, it could mean that you could sell a course or a coaching program or something like that. It's really good to see people's pain points, right? Because if people are paying for a service for something, that means that it is a pain point, it is an annoyance, and it's something that they want to get out of the way. And so you could potentially teach people how to do a course on it. Maybe now or maybe at some point in the future. So Fiverr, Upwork is really good. Fiverr, if you see, again, somebody who has 5,000 reviews on a listing, that's a really good sign, because that means probably like 50,000 people bought it. Upwork, if you see somebody who's made like $1 million with their consultation service or whatever their service is, that's a really good sign, because again, people are willing to spend a bunch of money, especially if they're charging like lots and lots of money per hour. And it's just a really good sign. Then you've got Meta. And this is really good because it has this thing called the ad library. Okay, so the ads library for Meta. And this is a great place that you can do a lot of research on stuff. And if you type in something like, Amazon Kindle Direct or something, you are going to see a ton of ads on there. And when you see a ton of ads, especially ads that have been running for a while, with pretty much 100% certainty that they are spending a significant amount of money on those ads. And they wouldn't be spending this money if they weren't making money, right? They wouldn't be spending a ton of money if they weren't making even more money, right? So that tells you that this is something where there is absolutely demand for the product, right? So again, absolute no-brainer. Definitely check out the Meta ads library too. And here's an example, guys. So, carnivore diet here, you can see lots and lots of, this is starting to emerge now. And you can see like 4,000 ratings. That means that 50,000 people probably bought this book at $10. That's $500,000 from a freaking book. 500K from a book, guys. And then I guarantee you this guy has some ways of monetizing on the back end, right? So you can see like there's some serious amount of people that are starting to emerge. And I guarantee you, check back in a year. If you're watching this a year from now, check back. This is going to be way higher. It's going to be way higher, right? And then you've got monkey minded, right? So, or money minded. No, I'm the one that's monkey minded. Unlock your potential with our exclusive ebooks. So it looks like it's just selling 100 website business ideas. So it looks like it's selling like a generalist way of making money. Let's see, start an online business or grow your income. Our ebooks provide all the tips and tricks you need to succeed, from $10,000 online strategies to business ideas you can start today. This bundle is designed for entrepreneurs and go-getters like you, right? So you see something like this. This is kind of a little bit more of a generalist one. That can be a good sign. So this is in the Google Ads library. And then Google Trends, this is always good to check. And what I really like here is to see the direction like that something is heading, right? So right now you see that keto, if you were to check the Google Trends, keto is going down a bit. You know, it's not as popular as it used to be. Whereas carnivore isn't nearly as popular as the keto diet, but it is going up, and it's going up rapidly. So this isn't so much to check the total amounts, but it's to check what direction that it's headed in. That's the thing that's most valuable about Google Trends. And of course, you want to attach yourself, if you're going to, start a channel, start a course, start a business, you want to attach yourself to a growing trend. You don't want to attach yourself to a shrinking market. That's no good. And then Glimpse is a great way to put numbers on trends. It's really good. It's a Chrome extension, and it shows you the search volume data for Google Trends. Okay, so it's really cool that you're able to do that, because Google Trends will just tell you if something is growing from like 1 to 100, but it won't actually give you the exact search volume data. Whereas Glimpse, it is it's not exact because it's guesstimating, but it's at least it gives you something that's probably much closer than its 1 to the 100 comparison. And then, of course, one thing I really love specifically for YouTube, guys, is I love vidIQ. vidIQ is great for doing research on YouTube. It's kind of like the SEO tool that I use for YouTube. So it's basically YouTube SEO, and it's just super, super valuable. My favorite feature on vidIQ, which I like a lot of them, is related videos. So you could type in a keyword. Sometimes you even type in the name of somebody's brand, and it'll show you what keywords are semantically related to that person's brand. AKA, if somebody is watching, this person's brand, or they're looking up stuff related to this keyword, they're also going to be interested in these other things. And it'll give you a list of those other things, which is super, super valuable. I can't tell you how many times I have utilized that feature, and it's been absolute gold for myself and my clients. vidIQ is amazing. Just as an example, guys, and this is very important: remote jobs versus online jobs. When you look up, let me go down here. Actually, when you look up remote jobs, you see that all the people making content on it are Americans, including myself. When you look up online jobs, you'll see that almost all the people making content on it are non-Americans, right? And this is really important to understand. So don't just look at vidIQ. You also want to just, use some common sense and look here. For some reason, in other countries, they use the word online jobs, or the term online jobs. And in the US, they use remote jobs or work from home jobs, right? So it's important to know that stuff. And then same thing with like side jobs versus side hustles. You'd think that these two things are probably very closely related in terms of search volume. But as you can see here, the search volume is significantly higher for side hustles than it is for side jobs, right? So it's always really important to look this stuff up. And it's just great. So yeah, guys, once you're done with the quick validation, you can go to deep analysis. And this is where, you really look at meta ads library, you start funnel hacking, right? So you go back to that meta ads library. Once you've decided, okay, I'm very confident on like 1 or 2 of these, you can start funnel hacking, which is where you go to the meta ads, you start clicking on their ads and checking out all aspects of their funnel, their email copywriting, you might even buy their course sometimes, or buy their stuff, their ads themselves, the main company, if they have a YouTube channel, et cetera, et cetera. And another thing you could do is, just from a top-down perspective, look up market statistics. So if you're having trouble deciding between a couple different niches, look up how big the total market is. And something like Perplexity is pretty good at doing this, because it actually searches like all of the search engines, and it'll tell you kind of like how big the market itself is and if the market is growing. There's this thing called Cager that will basically tell you how much the market is growing per year. And so you probably want to go for the one that's either the bigger market or the market that's growing the fastest if you're stuck between two different niches. But yeah, this all this stuff is very, very valuable. Of course, I have a much more systematic approach to how I do it with my clients. That's something that, of course, I wouldn't be able to do unless I had an actual consultation with you guys, which, by the way, you can get a 25-minute consultation with either myself or my team. Basically, it's a 4-step process where we basically diagnose your problems. We see if we're a good fit to work together. We figure out where you want to go and what your goals are. And then we lay out a game plan for exactly how you're going to get to those goals. And then we see, again, if we're a good fit to work together. And you can check that out by looking in the description and the pinned comment below. I think it'll be the most valuable 45 minutes that you spend this year on your business. And yeah, go ahead, check it out. Take care, guys. Bye.